Sinisterism is about finding the primal aspects of the left-hand path, primal in history, primal in the psyche, thus obtaining truth. Thomas LeRoy.
Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to your dose of sinister heathenry. But for those new to the channel, I'm Thomas LeRoy, founder of the International Left-Hand Path organization, the Sect of the Horn God. The sect is an educational foundation created to not only make those with the black flame aware of its glow, but to also restore the shadow aspects to the ancient gods by going deep into the past, not only historically, but also psychologically. For the primordial depths of the psyche are limitless. So, if this sounds interesting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to learn more, join the organization, the Sect of the Horn God, at the link down below. Thank you. In this video, I'm returning to the topic of the Leviathan Hypothesis, where we go deeper into the theory that reality is on the verge of a great ionic shift, epitomized by that beast from Judeo-Christian mythology. First, to understand what's going on, we have to make sense of humanity's connection to the cosmos. A connection we severely lack in this modern world. But what about astrology, some of you may ask? I know many of you believe in your daily horoscope, and a few have attempted to argue with me over its legitimacy. Some advice: don't even bother. Our connection to the cosmos goes so much deeper than that inane example of the fear of the unknown and wishful thinking. The cosmos is sacred and has been sacred since the beginning of time, since we first gazed up at the heavens. One must realize that for hundreds of thousands of years we were illiterate. Thus, symbols were important. They connected us with those myths and fables told by shamans, druids, and bards, and so on. And the constellations are the grandest examples of the symbolic. Symbols serve as a language that words can't convey. They reveal the truth of the transcendent. Herein lies the paradox. When the transcendent is defined, it loses its transcendental essence because words change its properties by attempting to solidify it into physical reality. Now, what's this New Age hippie shit, some of you might be thinking? What I'm doing is attempting to clarify the significance of the symbolic. It's like what I said in my last video when I stated that myth says with words that which cannot be said with words. What I'm getting at is the transcendent is the deeper meaning between the lines. You can experience this with a poem, novel, song, or any form of great art. For example, I recently read The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway, which is about an old man catching a big fish. But at the same time, it wasn't about an old man catching a big fish. It was about something so much deeper. So as we follow the clues of the following metaphysical hypothesis, remember that the greater meaning lies between the lines. This should become self-evident, but if one still struggles to understand our connection with the cosmos and the greater cosmic cycles, just remember, In Jungian psychology, an ion represents an era or a significant period characterized by particular psychological and cultural themes. Jung uses the concept of ions to explore how the contents of the collective unconscious emerge and influence human behavior and societal developments over long periods. Central to this theory of ions are archetypes. Archetypes, for those who don't know, are innate, universal symbols and patterns that reside in the collective unconscious, that part of that greater psyche shared by all humans. These archetypes manifest in dreams, myths, and cultural symbols, influencing individuals and collective behavior. In the book Ion, Jung focused on the transition between the astrological ages of Pisces and Aquarius, using this shift as a framework to discuss the psychological and cultural transformations occurring in Western civilization. I've gone over this in other videos, but the age of Pisces, associated with the symbol of the fish, corresponds to the last 2 millennia dominated by Christian themes of sacrifice, redemption, and the dichotomy between good and evil. The first fish, the rise of the Christ current. The second fish, the decline, or the Antichrist. These 2,000 years have been marked by an emphasis on faith, the spiritual, and the struggle between the conscious and the unconscious aspects of the psyche. As humanity transitions into the age of Aquarius, symbolized by the water bearer, Jung anticipated significant changes in the collective unconscious. And if the age of Pisces was the ion of the conflicting Christ currents, then who symbolizes that of Aquarius? See this diagram? It's based on one created by Jung. The split diamond shape between the black dots on the diagram signify 1,000 years of the age of Pisces. The first, the Christ. The second, 1,000 years, the Antichrist. Ascension, descension. Below the 2,000 years of Pisces, we come to that dot that says serpens, a Gnostic reference to serpent. So, with the ion of Aquarius, we have water and serpent. More on that later. The Aquarian age is expected to be one of great individuality, innovation, and a more holistic understanding of the self. This shift represents a move toward integrating the conscious and unconscious mind, achieving a balanced state of being. This is because it will incorporate that which comes up from the primordial depths, important to the concept of the self, which represents the totality of the psyche, integrating all aspects of the personality, not just that which stands in the light. To do so requires confronting the various archetypes within the psyche, particularly the shadow. This process leads to a greater self-awareness and psychological balance. And besides the individual psychology, the theory of ions encompasses cultural and societal transformation as well, where dominant archetypal themes influence art, religion, politics, and social structures. By examining these long-term cycles, Jung describes a framework for understanding the deep-rooted psychological forces shaping human history and culture. This transformation from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius is a shift away from traditional religious structures and toward a more individualized approach to understanding existence. Thus, Jungian theory gives an insight into the cyclical nature of psychological and societal transformation, leading to a deeper understanding of our place in the cosmos. In a spiritual or philosophical context, the apex signifies the attainment of enlightenment, inner peace, or ultimate understanding. It is the point where an individual transcends ordinary experiences and connects with a higher plane of existence. But this concept of the apex has been replaced within the Western psyche with Yahweh. Thus, He is the absolute, and if the apex is the absolute, then the abyss is the dark absolute, representing the profound depths of the human soul, a crucible that tests and refines the spirit. Venturing into the abyss is a personal journey into an often feared aspect of the self and existence, which is a crucial part of spiritual growth and transformation. During this period of intense inner turmoil, the individual on the left-hand path will realize, if they haven't already, that they've been abandoned by the apex and thus stripped of all spiritual comforts. Even though it's painful for some, this experience is considered a necessary purification process, leading to an awakening and union with one's divinity, and not with the apex, and thus not with Yahweh. This is where one will encounter the personal demon, which is essential for achieving wholeness and self-realization. By facing and integrating the demon, individuals can transcend their limitations and achieve a balanced state of being. Now, in various spiritual traditions, the abyss can also symbolize the encounter with the divine void or emptiness. This void is not nihilistic emptiness, but a profound state of the potential for human greatness. Encountering the void can be both awe-inspiring and frightening, as it challenges all preconceived notions of reality and self. This journey through the abyss is a trial by fire, which has been represented in myths and religious narratives since the beginning of time, where heroes must descend into the underworld, reflecting the spiritual journey where one must confront inner demons, endure hardships, and emerge transformed. Despite its daunting nature, the abyss is an essential phase in the journey toward sinister illumination. It is a place of trial, purification, and ultimately profound transformation. And if all within the metaphysical realm is situated somewhere between the apex and the abyss, and Yahweh sits at the apex, then, as asked earlier, who waits to emerge from the abyss? I think most of you already know who Leviathan is to one degree or another. But for those who don't, Leviathan was first mentioned in the Hebrew Bible in the books of Job, Psalms, and Isaiah. In these texts, the Leviathan is described as a powerful and fearsome sea creature, a creature that embodies the untamable and destructive aspects of the world, emphasizing its terrifying nature. The roots of Leviathan can be traced back to ancient Near Eastern mythology. There we see examples of Chaos Kampf, the struggle between order and chaos, symbolized in the battle between a storm god and some sort of great serpent, which is echoed in the biblical representation of Leviathan. Leviathan also embodies the chaotic forces of the sea, a domain the ancients viewed as unpredictable and perilous, its depths representing a boundary between the known and the unknown. Leviathan, as its ruler, symbolizes the threat of disorder and the power of nature to overwhelm human efforts to impose order. Just as the depths of the ocean are largely unexplored, the unconscious mind holds mysteries that can be both frightening and enlightening. Encountering Leviathan can thus be seen as a journey into one's inner depths, confronting fears and discovering hidden truths. The abyss, besides being the antithesis of the apex, is in many cultures the primordial chaos from which the world was created. Leviathan's connection to the abyss is multifaceted, encompassing themes of chaos, the unknown, and the subconscious. Putting it simply, the abyss can be seen as a metaphor for the unconscious mind, and the Leviathan, lurking in the depths, represents the hidden and often feared aspects of the psyche. In some interpretations, the Leviathan is seen as a creature that will be defeated at the end of time, representing the ultimate victory of divine order over chaos, thus tying into the concept of the abyss as a space that must be conquered to achieve ultimate harmony and salvation. Conquered if you're on the right-hand path, explored if you're on the left. So in Christian theology, Leviathan's defeat is associated with the ultimate triumph of good over evil, where in the book of Revelation, the final battle between divine forces and chaotic entities reinforces the idea of the abyss as a space that must be subdued to achieve divine order and peace. Instead of being seen as a threat to be conquered, Leviathan's presence in the depths should be seen as a source of hidden wisdom. The enduring image of Leviathan speaks to a universal psychological truth, the fear that what lies beneath the surface, hidden and unpredictable. Psychoanalytic theory provides further insight into Leviathan's symbolism. Freud's concept of the oceanic feeling, a sensation of boundless, formless fear, parallels the ancient dread associated with Leviathan. As stated, Jung's idea of the collective unconscious suggests that such symbols are archetypal, resonating across cultures and epochs or even ions. And Leviathan, as an archetype or an avatar of the archetypes, embodies primal fears, fears that are woven into the fabric of the human unconscious. These fears go back millions of years to our most ancient primate ancestors, they who while dwelling in rainforest canopies were on the constant lookout for those predators that dwelled in the trees also, namely snakes. Jung stated that acknowledging and integrating those fears is essential for personal growth and individuation. Thus, Leviathan, as a symbol of the abyss, the unknown parts of the self, becomes a source of wisdom through the process of self-discovery and acceptance. Philosophically, Nietzsche's concept of the abyss echoes the chaotic depths associated with Leviathan. Nietzsche suggests that confronting the abyss or the unknown aspects of existence is a necessary part of attaining true wisdom and self-awareness. This confrontation requires a recognition of the limitations of human understanding and an acceptance of the inherent uncertainty of life. For those who walk the left-hand path, Leviathan underscores his significance as a symbol of the complex interplay between knowledge, power, and the mysteries of existence. And in the Ion of Aquarius, the Leviathan will rise. In conclusion, my friends, Leviathan's image persists as a testament to the enduring power of this avatar of the archetypes. And as one accepts Leviathan, you accept the chaos within, striving for a sense of order and understanding amidst the primordial depths. This is the path to wholeness, instead of attempting that arduous climb to an apex you'll never reach, because Yahweh doesn't want to be usurped. He'll just keep knocking you back down. Instead, climb a peak that's never been climbed. Until next time.